Right, welcome back to fanfic reading. This little part right here is be a little sad, but it's a bit of a relevance. Chapter 16 of Hearts and Minds. Apologies. I've had a crazy couple of weeks. What with me starting my new summer job and my grandpa passing away. My grandmother actually passed away 9 years ago, so that was just that's not good for me. So yeah, I can understand it being crazy because with things, me transitioning, and well, if you want to know my life story, which you probably don't want to care either way, but yeah. So anyway, here you go. So then I said to Sergeant Hornet, "Boy, that sure was a sticky situation." Lieutenant Thomas burst out laughing while General Mass and Captain Carey rolled their eyes and groaned. Ugh. With all due respect, General, Akari whispered, why did we have to bring him along? Queen's orders, Mendes grumbled, not mine. So, Akari, Bum says he flew up to the captain's side. How's your food supply? I'm satisfied, Akari bluntly replied. Why? Just wondering. But if you ever need a refill, he flashed a sultry look. I'm willing to share. Akari narrowed her eyes and threw a hoof in his face. Ow! Barbas cried out, rubbing his jaw. I said no would have sufficed. Lieutenant, Mendes groaned. How many times have I told you not to harass the female soldiers? Especially when we're on duty. Besides, Akari snorted, you figure we're all related. Hey, Bumster protested. That doesn't seem to bother the general here. Mendes spun around with glaring eyes. Excuse me? Oh, come on, dude. It's not like nobody in the hive knows how you feel about the Queen. We're changelings, after all. The general said nothing and continued forward. I cried jabbed bumps in his ribs. Nice going, Lieutenant. She was harsh before following her superior. What'd I say? Mom said as he went after them. Just keep quiet for 5 minutes, please. Mendes grunted. The lieutenant shut his mouth and waited exactly 5 minutes before speaking again. Be like Donkey from Shrek. So, what's it like? The general groaned. What? Having a heart. You know, other than the prince, you're the only changeling left who has his heart. The rest of us were born without them. So, is it worth it? Heart produce love, Akari said gruffly. Love is for the weak, which the strong must use against them. If we had any such emotions to destruct us in battle, we'd all be extinct. Hey, Bumba said with a shrug. That never stopped the general, and he's the best general we've ever had. At least I think so, since he's the only general I've ever known. But he's really great. And no offense, Akari, but we lost a heck of a lot of those battles despite our lack of distractions, and surprisingly, the winners of at least 2 of those battles had love on their side. The captain snorted. They just got lucky. You wouldn't want to be in my situation anyway, Lieutenant. Mendes sighed. Yes, I have the ability to love, but it's a curse I've been forced to bear my whole life. I wish the Queen hadn't spared me during the Reformation. She thought she was doing me a favor, but instead she's punished me for all eternity. Nonetheless, I have my duty to consider before my emotions, as is the way of the soldier. You ever thought of telling her all this? Bombas asked. I mean, I'm sure she knows, but maybe once she has her heart back, it doesn't matter. The 2 soldiers jumped back at their latest outburst. Mendes hung his head as he pressed forward. It doesn't matter, he repeated. She'll be gone soon, anyway. That's a bit of sadness. In the living room of the ship, Screwball, Mothball, and Moonbeam, who had sneezed back into pony form and was wearing only her cap, were sitting around the coffee table with cards in their hooves. Got any eights? Screwball asked Moonbeam. Uno, the filly said, waving her single card. Screwball picked her cup from the pile and laid her cards down. Jen! Muff lowered his cards in confusion. What are we playing again? What are we playing again? Every pony! Twilight shouted from above deck. Land ho! The fuck you call me? I can imagine that summer just going like... Trixie poked her head at the kitchen. We're there? Yes, and you're not gonna believe what the brush led us. Everyone rushed up the stairs to see what Twilight was talking about. The Alicorn was looking over the rail in disbelief. When the others joined her, their eyes beheld an enormous, dark, run-down castle on a sprawling hill in the middle of a dreary brown forest. Below it stood the ruins of a village, covered in dark green substance that looked like oak crystallized mucus. Same as the lower parts of the castle. Where are we? Screwball asked. The forest of Leota, Twilight replied. Hey, Mothball said. This is where the Jersey were banished at the siege of Canterlot. So Trixie's... Screwball paused as Unicorn gave her a warning glare. Treasures in that castle? Definitely, Twilight said, turning up the blinking brush for emphasis. Huh, Trixie huffed. Seems a little sloppy for Mother hide something so vibrant in one of her old hideouts. Then again, she does have a thing for old and abandoned places. So we could explore a creepy, possibly haunted old castle? Whoopie inquired. Cool, let's go. Hold it, young lady. You're staying right here where it's safe. And truly, she didn't want her daughter to see the heart when it was retrieved. Aw, come on, Whoopie whined, crossing her forelegs. You never let me go anywhere. Your mother's right, said Twilight. There's no telling what dangers lurk in the castle. I'm not scared. Seriously, that castle is not something you want to take lightly. Why, last time my friends and I were in there, there were doors leading to strange rooms, disembodied voices talking riddles, one staircase in all directions. Sounds like home, Screwball snorted. I think the kid will be fine if I'm around to take care of any booby traps or monsters. Trixie got a Screwball and I was about to say something when the chaotic pony clapped her hooves together and an anchor dropped over the edge. Come on, slowpokes, she exclaimed as she slid down the anchor's rope. I thought we were on a tight schedule here. Twice how she flipped her wings. Just like her father, always acting on impulse. Mothball followed the Alicorn's example while Trixie spread her wings and Moonbeam went down the rope after Screwball. When they reached the ground, they gazed up at the castle in awe. It looks small from this angle, Moonbeam observed. Try this, Screwball said. She bent back and stuck her head between her legs. Moonbeam could not bend that way, so she turned around and bent down and looked out through her legs. Oh yeah, much more intimidating, she chirped. Trixie looked accusing at Mothball. Trixie thinks your fiancé is a bad influence on Moonbeam. The prince shook his head. Bad? No. Unusual? Well, sure. Everybody stay close, Twilight said as she led the group inside. I've been here before, but Chris might have upgraded security since then. You must be ready for anything. Noted, Screwball said she summoned a baseball bat. Trixie rolled her eyes. Trixie thinks we need more than that for protection. You're right. The bat transferred to a frying pan. Trixie put a hoop to her head. Hey, Screwball said, never underestimate the power of a frying pan. As the group approached the castle's large door, Twilight, Mothball, and Trixie illuminated their horns while Trixie held her dog behind her back. The door automatically opened with a long, slow creak. They were about to step aside when a horrid, upside-down pink face jumped out at them. Mothball and Trixie started back screaming. Cool, Moonbeam piped. What is that thing? Trixie exclaimed. Screwball twisted her head upside down to get a better look at the thing. I can't twist my head upside down. It appeared to be an empty pink pony costume with an oversized head and bulging plastic eyeballs. It looks kind of like Aunt Pinky, she observed aloud. After composing herself, Twilight explained. It is. She made it. Don't ask why. I commend Chrysis for her attempt at poetic justice. What's that supposed to mean? Mutlu inquired. Long story. Come on, it won't hurt us. Twilight used so much to toss the hideous costume out of the way. Every point gets at the castle's interior. As Twilight had said, there were staircases twisted in every direction with sideways doors, and once you were inside, a foe spoke from nowhere. To find what you seek, you must take a peek behind the right door, or face hordes galore. This is like home, Scrooble exclaimed. So I guess we try all these doors till we find the right one. I got the ones on the ceiling. Actually, you won't have to try all the doors. Twilight said she left her blinking brush in the view. The brush will show us the way. The great will show us the way. We will show you the way. Scrooble fell down to the floor with a pout. Why don't you spoil the fun, Auntie Twilight? Can we still see what's behind the other doors? Whooping next eagerly. We don't have time, Muffle said. Which way, Twilight? The other coin stepped forward and watched as the brush slowly turned right. This way. They followed the hairbrush up a staircase to a green door with a hard edge in the wood. No, it can't be that obvious, Trixie grumbled. What's so obvious about it? Booping cautiously tipped her head. This is it, Trixie declared. She touched the doorknob. Ow! She retracted her hoof as a spark of electricity shot through her. Look! Scrooble pointed. Inside the heart engraving, a series of strange marks appeared that to Twilight, Scrooble, and Mooping looked like squiggles. What in the world? Scrooble uttered. I've never seen writing like this, Twilight marveled. They're ancient changing runes, Trixie explained. Before Aquarian writing was developed, Muffin continued, this was what our ancestors used. So you know what it says? Twilight asked. Of course, Trixie replied. All changes are required to know it from childhood. We use it to pass a message We use it to pass a message to each other, especially when we're undercover. So what does this say? Scrooble inquired. It says... Trixie turned pale and glanced nervously at her daughter. No heart shall pass through here, Motto finished. What does that mean? Mooping asked. Scrooble shrugged. Probably just starting points to steal the heart in there. Heart? Trixie grabbed Screwball. Who could get that a lie? That's another treasure. It's called, the heart. Oh, Whooping replied. So it's like a golden heart or something? Yeah, sure, Trixie said, pushing through. Can we just go in already? Okay, hold your horses, Screwball said. She reached for the knob. But as soon as she touched it, she was electrocuted just like Twilight. Let me try, Muffle offered. But the same happened to him. Whooping reached to try it herself, but Mother stopped her hoof. No biggie, Scrooble shrugged. Who needs a dough when you've got magic? She vanished and then reappeared a second later and was thrown back by an invisible force. Muffle knelt down to her side. I can't teleport in there, Scrooble gasped. Figures, Trixie said, shaking her head. Mother built this vault against her enemies. This girl was one of her greatest. Makes sense she would cast spells that would repel chaos magic. There must be a way in, Muffle insisted. Mother would still have to create a way to get in herself. Maybe that's a clue somewhere, Boopin suggested. There's always a clue around magically sealed doors. A clue? Twilight said. She squinted at the changing runes. A clue! That's it! The message isn't a threat. It's a riddle. No heart shall pass through here? Scrooble said, scratching her head. What could that... Then her eyes widened, and so did Mothballs, as he came up with the same answer. Everyone except Moving turned to Trixie, who was still confused. Why y'all looking at Trixie like that? Trixie, Twilight said slowly. Do you know why Screwball, Mothball, and I weren't able to open the door? Think about it. What do we all have that you don't? Trixie's eyes went and she realized what they were all implying. No, it can't. Just try, Trixie, Mothball said. Trixie turned to her and took a deep breath. She reached out and twisted a knob. It clicked and the door opened to a dark staircase. Very clever, Mother, she muttered. Very clever. Mom? Trixie looked back at her daughter. Not now, honey. Mommy's got to trust the fetch. Mom, how come you can open the door when they couldn't? Then you couldn't bear to live. Your mom is just more powerful, that's all. And what did Princess tell me when she said they have something you don't? Moonbeam, I don't have time for this. And what did the message mean when it said no heart could pass through? We'll discuss this later. Trixie was about to send to darkness when Moonbeam grabbed her leg. The fiddler was glaring at her with impatience. No, Mom. I'm sick of you hiding stuff from me. What's going on here? Mother sighed. Trixie, just tell her. There's nothing to tell, Trixie shouted as she turned to shake her daughter off. The reason Mommy was able to open the door is not important. What is important is that I get down there and get back my heart. Moonbeam blinked. Your what? The Trixie covered her mouth, but it was too late. The words had already slipped. Mom, did you just say your heart? Moonbeam asked again. Trixie stared at her daughter for a long while, unsure of how to respond. Twilight's screwboy Mothball backed away to get the two some space. Finally, Trixie let out a sigh. Mommy has been honest with you, Moonbeam. We're not here for a treasure, though it is something very valuable. Down there, probably locked away in a vault or something, is a heart. My heart. Moonbeam let go of her mother's leg. That's ridiculous. Your heart can't be down there. She touched aside the left side of her mother's chest. See? It's right. She paused as her mouth twisted in confusion. She moved her hoof around her mother's chest, searching for a thump. She felt nothing. But, she uttered, oh boy, this is not going to be pretty. Trixie let her daughter's hoof and lifted her little chin so she could look at her in the eye. Even without her heart, she knew this was going to hurt. You see, honey, she began slowly, when your father left and broke my heart, the pain was too much to bear. I went back to my mother and had her cast a spell to remove my heart, so I would never love again. Whooping shook her head. No, that's impossible. You said you loved me. Trixie winced. That's not necessarily true. You don't love me. Oh, the filly choked his eyes, glistening with tears. I didn't know I was going to have you when I did it. I can't feel in the way that you're the only reason I'm still living, but you don't love me. It's not that I don't love you, sweetie. I just can't. So, Whooping sniffed. You lie when you say you love me? Trixie moved her hood to wipe her daughter's tears. Honey. The face scowled and turned back to her mother. If this cell was hurting Trixie now, she could only imagine what this would be like with all her emotions. Sweetie, I didn't mean to. You lied, Moonbeam snapped. I can understand why you didn't tell me all that checking stuff, but this is... Trixie laid her hoof on her shoulder. Moonbeam, get away! The foolish filly shouted as she raced to Mothball. Moonbeam, please, you have to listen to me. Having my heart removed was the worst mistake I ever made. I've regretted every single day since you were born, but that's all going to change. Once I have my heart back, I'll be the mother you've always wanted, the mother you deserve. No fool should be with a pair who doesn't love them. Moonbeam stared at her mother and then buried her face in her uncle's leg as she sobbed. Trixie hung her head in shame. Twilight approached her. You can still fix this, she whispered. Once you are able to love again, she'll forgive you. Trixie looked back the staircase and down the dark staircase. Will you be alright down there? Trixie asked. The unicorn nodded. She lifted her horn. The great unpowered Trixie has faced worse. The unicorn rolled her eyes and shook her head with a smile as he watched her friend disappear into the darkness. Normally, Trixie would have been nervous descending a dark stairway with no knowledge of what was on the bottom, but she was too determined to fix her mistakes to be afraid. However, she still remained cautious. A riddle couldn't be the only thing guarding her heart. Her mother wasn't that careless. After what felt like hours of walking, she spotted some light up ahead. When her back hoofs left the bottom step, she found herself in a circular room. Her horn glowed brighter so she could get a better look at her surroundings. The stone walls were covered in crystalline mucus that surrounded several small halls which looked like they once contained something. Trixie put her hood to her chest. She felt a sudden tingle. She glanced down and waited for it to return, but nothing happened. She shrugged and stepped further into the room. Her chest tingled again. Curious, she slowed her pace. The closer she got to the back wall, the stronger the sensation became. On the far end of the room, a faint green light glimmered. Trixie squinted at the wall and saw that the glow was coming from behind the mucus. She shot a beam at it and destroyed the green substance. Behind it was a small niche containing two chests. One was ivory and faded with time. The other was crystal and was the source of the glow. Like the feeling inside Trixie, the crystal box glowed brighter as she got closer. She lifted the lid and stared at the beating green heart. It was calling to her, now that it was within her grasp. She was about to touch it when she realized she didn't know how to put it back in. Perhaps one of the others would know. So she closed the chest and looked curious at the ivory one. She opened it to find another heart, though its green glow was very faint. There was no doubt whose heart this was. All the changes whose hearts were removed during the Reformation had died out centuries ago, and their hearts had turned to dust as a result. At least that's what her mother had told her. Trixie stared at her mother's heart in wonder. She knew the queen wasn't dead yet. Would her heart crumble to dust? Would she die without knowing what it was like to feel again? As much as she resented her mother, Trixie couldn't wish that fate on her. So she closed the chest and left it along with the crystal one. You got it? Twilight called when Trixie saw her appear in the darkness. Yep, the Yukon replied when she reached the top. Trixie got Mother's too. Really? Mother said he stared at the two boxes. Why's that one glowing? Screwball asked, pointing to the crystal chest. It's mine, Trixie explained as she opened it. It must know I'm near. Moonbeam's eyes went as she beheld the glowing green heart. That's your heart? Yes, Moonbeam, her mother replied as she lifted the organ into her hoof. My emotions. They're all here. There was a long pause. Well, what are you waiting for? Screwball inquired. Trixie stammered. I don't know how to do it. Mother knows the spell. Trixie rubbed her chin and looked at Screwball. Maybe your chaos magic can. Screwball shrugged. Worth a shot. She took the heart and looked up at Trixie. You sure this is what you want? You said so yourself you couldn't handle it before. Trixie glanced at Moonbeam and took a deep breath. Do it. Screwball's hook glowed yellow and the heart turned transparent. She held her breath as she slid into Trixie's chest. Trixie cried in agony, making Screwball retract her hoof in alarm. The unicorn gripped her chest and collapsed to her knees. Mom! Moonbeam exclaimed, rushing to her mother's side. Mom, are you okay? Trixie opened her eyes and turned her head to the filly. Familiar warmth welled up inside her, something she hadn't felt in years. It instantly brought tears to her eyes. Moonbeam? She choked. Mom, the filly said, in her head. Are you crying? Trixie smiled and nodded. Yes, I am, she sniffed. Isn't it wonderful? Moonbeam scratched her nose. Mom, you're not making sense. Maybe this will make sense. She wrapped her hooves around her daughter and pulled her close. She sobbed loudly as she stroked her precious filly's mane. Oh, Moonbeam, she whispered. Oh, my sweet Moonbeam. Mummy's so sorry. She didn't mean to lie to you. It just happened. I never should have forced you to hide yourself. I thought I was trying to protect you. But the truth is, I just didn't want to be reminded of your father. Moonbeam looked up at her mother. Really? Really? She then removed her baseball cap. Oh, Moonbeam, you're so beautiful. Now Moonbeam was tearing up. Really? Trixie nodded and hugged her again. You have always been it. I love you. Oh, sweetie, I love you so much. He had this grin as he watched the mother and daughter have their long overdue moment. Then Twilight found herself a troubling thought entering her mind. Anybody else think this was a little too easy? Maybe, Screwball said with a shrug. But why complain? It's just, I thought there would be more obstacles. Considering this is closest we're dealing with, there should have at least been a. She was cut off as the front door opened behind them. Everyone spun around to see who had entered. Screwball recognized the General and Lieutenant Bombas, but their changing light blue armor was new. They were all surprised to see their prince, his fiancée, the prince of the first ship, and the two strangers. Your Highness? General Mattis questioned as he buzzed over to them. What are you doing here? And with an questioning princess, no less, Captain Carr hissed. Hi, Miss Screwball, Lieutenant Bumbles waved. Wow, Wilbing exclaimed she trailed to the soldiers. More changelings! Though, what's with the armor? Are you guys warriors or something? The three soldiers looked down curiously, strange feeling. And what is this? Akari snarled. Bumble sniffed the air and gasped. He quickly went down to his knees.